Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, your life just isn't moving forward? Like you're spinning in circles, chasing after things that don't truly satisfy you? It's a heavy feeling, one that weighs on your chest and steals your peace. You're not alone in this. So many people struggle with this exact frustration because they've been taught to look outside themselves for approval, direction, and happiness. But what if the secret to real change isn't out there? What if it begins inside you, right where your attention is right now? The moment you decide to focus solely on yourself, everything shifts. This isn't selfishness. It's the bravest, most important step you can take toward transforming your life. Because when your focus turns inward, you reclaim the power that's always been yours. You stop chasing shadows and start creating light. The truth is, your energy is a precious currency. Where you spend it shapes everything, your thoughts, your actions, your reality. When your energy is scattered, spread thin trying to please others or live up to impossible expectations, you lose yourself. You become a reflection of what everyone else wants instead of the person you're meant to be. But imagine if you could stop that cycle. Imagine what would happen if every ounce of your attention was poured into one thing, yourself. What would that do to your confidence, your peace, your dreams? It would awaken a deep connection to who you really are, beyond fear, beyond doubt, beyond noise. That connection fuels courage. Courage to set boundaries without guilt. Courage to say no to distractions and yes to what truly matters. Courage to face your flaws and turn them into strengths. When you focus solely on yourself, you stop running from your truth and start living it. And that truth is powerful. It's a truth that says you deserve happiness that comes from within, not from the fleeting approval of others. It's a truth that says your worth isn't measured by likes, by validation, or by comparisons. It's simply who you are, whole, valuable, and enough. This kind of focus unlocks a transformation that no external event can give you. It's not about changing your circumstances overnight or magically fixing every problem. It's about reclaiming your center, your calm, your control. It's about building a life where your actions align with your deepest values and your heart beats to your own rhythm. By the end of this journey, you'll discover a freedom so profound that nothing outside can shake it. You'll learn to protect your energy fiercely and invest it wisely. You'll begin to attract opportunities, relationships, and success that reflect your true self. This is not a vague promise. It's a fact rooted in the simple power of focus, focused on the one person who can change everything, you. Stay with me, because what comes next will guide you step by step into that transformation. You owe it to yourself to experience the peace, power, and purpose waiting on the other side of your attention. The moment you choose yourself, your life changes forever. When you stop looking for approval outside yourself, a profound shift begins to take place. The need to be accepted, liked, or admired by others can feel like a heavy chain, keeping you trapped in a life that isn't truly yours. Every comparison, every judgment from the outside, chips away at your confidence and drains your energy. It's exhausting to live by someone else's standards or expectations, constantly trying to fit into a mold that wasn't made for you. Yet, so many continue this exhausting dance, believing their worth depends on others' opinions. But that belief is a lie, one that keeps you stuck, fearful, and disconnected from your own power. Imagine what it would feel like to break free from that trap, to stop seeking permission from the world, and instead give yourself permission to be exactly who you are. To understand deeply that your value is not something that can be taken away or earned through external validation because it already exists, unconditionally, inside you. This realization is life-changing. It creates space for you to breathe, to think, and to act with authenticity. When you are no longer tethered to the judgments of others, your energy is released. You can focus on what truly matters to you, rather than what you think will impress others. This freedom invites growth because it removes fear, the fear of rejection, of not being enough, of being seen as flawed or different. Without that fear holding you back, you begin to explore your true potential. The power of focusing solely on yourself lies in reclaiming your narrative. You become the author of your story instead of a character in someone else's. You choose what success looks like, what happiness means, and how you want to live. And this isn't an abstract idea. It's a practical shift that rewires your mind and rewrites your life. When your focus turns inward, you start to notice what energizes you, what drains you, and where your passions lie. This self-awareness is the foundation of transformation. It allows you to make decisions that align with your values and your vision, rather than decisions based on fear or obligation. This alignment creates a magnetic pull toward the life you want. You will find that opportunities begin to present themselves, not because you're chasing them, but because your authentic energy attracts them naturally. The freedom from external validation also deepens your self-respect. Each time you honor your needs and desires, you build a stronger, more loving relationship with yourself. This relationship becomes a source of strength during challenges, a steady anchor when doubt creeps in. It teaches you resilience and patience, reminding you that transformation is a process, not an instant fix. The journey inward requires courage, because it means facing parts of yourself that have been ignored or hidden. But it is precisely this courage that leads to growth and healing. The more you focus on yourself, the clearer it becomes that you are enough, just as you are. You don't need anyone else to tell you that. You can give yourself that truth. This truth is your foundation. It is the reason why the transformation you seek is possible, sustainable, and deeply fulfilling. Your life will begin to shift when you let go of the need for external approval and step fully into your own power. This is where true freedom lives, inside you, waiting to be claimed. When you reclaim your autonomy, you step into a realm of power few truly understand. Autonomy is not just about making choices, it's about owning those choices fully, without hesitation or guilt. It means that your life is directed by your values, your desires, and your truth, not by the expectations of others or the noise of the world. This ownership ignites a fire within, a fire that fuels your confidence and sharpens your clarity. The moment you realize that no one else controls your happiness or your path, everything changes. You stop waiting for permission, approval, or guidance from outside forces. Instead, you begin to trust yourself deeply. This trust is the bedrock of transformation. It empowers you to face challenges head-on, knowing that you have the inner strength to navigate whatever comes your way. The weight of responsibility no longer feels like a burden, but a sacred opportunity to shape your destiny. Autonomy calls you to make decisions based on what resonates with your soul, even if those decisions seem unpopular or difficult. This requires courage because it often means stepping away from comfort zones and breaking free from patterns that no longer serve you. But within that discomfort lies growth, the kind that stretches your limits and expands your sense of possibility. When you focus solely on yourself, you cultivate this courage daily. You learn to say no without apology and yes without doubt. You prioritize your needs and honor your boundaries, recognizing that this is not selfish, it is survival. It is the foundation for sustainable change. The clarity that comes with autonomy dissolves confusion and indecision. You no longer feel torn between competing demands or overwhelmed by others' expectations. Instead, your path becomes clear because it is lit from within. This inner light guides every step, no matter how uncertain the journey may seem. Autonomy also invites you to embrace accountability, not as a source of pressure, but as a form of respect for yourself. You understand that your actions matter and that you hold the power to create the life you want. This realization ignites motivation and shifts your mindset from victim to creator. It is here, in this space of self-responsibility, that transformation accelerates. Every choice you make becomes intentional, every action purposeful. You stop drifting and start steering your life with unwavering focus. The psychological power of autonomy lies in how it rewires your brain. When you consistently make decisions aligned with your true self, your neural pathways strengthen, making it easier to trust your intuition and maintain direction. This creates a positive feedback loop of confidence and clarity, reinforcing your sense of control. Autonomy also enhances your resilience. When setbacks arise, as they always will, you respond from a place of empowerment instead of helplessness. You see obstacles as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than reasons to quit. This mindset is essential for lasting transformation, because it keeps you moving forward, even when the path is steep. The freedom that autonomy brings is liberating, but it requires conscious choice. It means waking up every day and deciding to live for yourself, not by default, but by design. This choice is a radical act of self-love that reshapes your entire existence. When you fully embrace your autonomy, you unlock the door to your highest potential and step boldly into the life you were meant to create. True transformation requires more than just decisions and intentions. It demands compassion, especially toward yourself. Self-compassion is not weakness or indulgence. It is the courageous act of treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a dear friend. When you focus solely on yourself, self-compassion becomes a lifeline. It creates the emotional safety necessary to face your flaws, fears, and failures without being crushed by them. The truth is, you will make mistakes. You will encounter setbacks. But how you respond to these moments defines your path forward. If your inner voice is harsh, critical, or unforgiving, you will feel stuck, overwhelmed, and unworthy of change. On the other hand, when you embrace self-compassion, you open a space where growth can flourish. It's the foundation that allows you to heal wounds, build resilience, and keep moving forward despite challenges. Self-compassion quiets the relentless inner critic that so often holds you hostage. It reminds you that imperfection is part of being human, and that struggling does not mean failure. Instead of beating yourself up for falling short, you learn to say, "I am doing my best, and that is enough." This shift in mindset has profound effects on motivation and emotional well-being. It frees you from the paralyzing fear of judgment, both from yourself and others, and invites you to take risks, try new things, and embrace change with an open heart. The psychological impact of self-compassion is supported by how it reduces stress, lowers anxiety, and increases emotional resilience. When you practice it consistently, you build a stable inner foundation that holds you steady in times of uncertainty. It becomes easier to face discomfort and to persevere through difficult moments, because you know you will treat yourself with care no matter what happens. Focusing on yourself with compassion also nurtures patience. Transformation is not a race, it is a gradual process. Self-compassion teaches you to honor your pace, to celebrate small victories, and to be gentle with yourself when progress feels slow. This patience prevents burnout and keeps your motivation alive over the long haul. When you cultivate self-compassion, you break free from the damaging cycle of perfectionism and self-judgment that undermines your potential. You create an environment within yourself where creativity, courage, and confidence can grow naturally. This environment is fertile ground for transformation because it encourages exploration without fear and embraces the messy, imperfect nature of growth. As your relationship with yourself deepens through compassion, you begin to trust that you are worthy of love and success, not because you have to prove anything, but simply because you exist. This trust strengthens your commitment to your own well-being and fuels your determination to create lasting change. Self-compassion also builds emotional intelligence, helping you recognize and respond to your feelings in healthy ways. This awareness allows you to navigate internal obstacles with grace and clarity, rather than being overwhelmed by them. When you focus solely on yourself through the lens of compassion, you unlock a powerful cycle of healing and growth. Each act of kindness toward yourself becomes a seed for greater strength, deeper peace, and unshakable confidence. This is the secret weapon of transformation. Treating yourself with the care and respect you deserve every step of the way. Your inner critic can be relentless, whispering doubts and insecurities that hold you back from stepping into your full potential. It's the voice that tells you you're not good enough, that you will fail, or that you don't deserve the life you desire. This voice is familiar, persistent, and often disguised as a form of protection, trying to keep you safe from disappointment or rejection. But the truth is, this inner critic is not your ally. It is a barrier between you and the transformation you crave. Focusing solely on yourself means learning to quiet this voice, not by ignoring it, but by understanding its origin and refusing to let it dictate your actions. Mindful awareness of your thoughts is a powerful tool. When you recognize the inner critic as just a thought, not an absolute truth, you take away its power. You create distance between who you are and what your mind tells you. This separation allows you to observe your thoughts with curiosity instead of fear or judgment. The more you practice this, the less you become controlled by negativity and self-doubt. Instead, you begin to replace critical thoughts with ones that encourage growth and self-acceptance. It's not about pretending everything is perfect, but about choosing to speak to yourself in a way that fosters confidence and courage. This shift rewires your brain, strengthening neural pathways associated with positive self-talk and resilience. It changes the way you experience challenges and setbacks, making you more likely to persevere rather than quit. The inner critic thrives in silence and avoidance. When you face it directly, naming it and questioning its validity, it loses its grip. Focusing on yourself means developing this inner dialogue, turning it from a harsh judge into a supportive guide. You learn to challenge negative beliefs and replace them with empowering truths. This practice builds emotional strength and helps you embrace vulnerability rather than fear it. As you deepen this connection with yourself, you become more compassionate and patient, understanding that growth is a process filled with ups and downs. You allow yourself room to stumble without spiraling into self-condemnation. This resilience is essential for transformation because it keeps you moving forward when obstacles arise. The more you control your inner dialogue, the more freedom you experience. Freedom from fear, from comparison, and from the paralyzing effects of self-doubt. This freedom invites creativity, risk-taking, and authenticity, qualities necessary for any meaningful change. When your focus is solely on yourself, you gain clarity about who you want to become and the steps needed to get there. Your inner critic no longer clouds your vision or saps your energy. Instead, it becomes a quiet voice that reminds you to stay grounded and true to your path. Learning to manage this voice is a skill that strengthens over time. Each time you catch yourself slipping into negative self-talk and consciously shift to a more supportive mindset, you build momentum. You create a foundation of inner strength that supports lasting transformation. This is the essential work of focusing on yourself, taming the inner critic so your true self can shine brightly and lead you toward the life you deserve. When you make the conscious choice to focus solely on yourself, you unlock the true power of intention. Intention is not just a vague wish or fleeting thought. It is a deliberate commitment to act in alignment with your deepest values and desires. It shapes your mindset and directs your energy, becoming the compass that guides your every decision. This clarity of purpose is essential because without it, your efforts become scattered and ineffective. When your intention is rooted in self-focus, you prioritize what truly matters to you, cutting through distractions and noise. You no longer chase after things that don't serve your growth or happiness. Instead, you channel your energy toward meaningful goals that resonate with your authentic self. The power of intention lies in its ability to transform your mindset from passive to active, from reactive to proactive. It empowers you to take ownership of your life and steer it in the direction you choose. This shift is deeply psychological. It rewires your brain to notice opportunities, solutions, and resources that support your path. When your intention is clear and unwavering, you naturally attract the people, habits, and circumstances that align with your vision. This magnetism is not magic. It is the science of focused energy and aligned action. Holding a strong intention also fuels motivation on days when doubt or fatigue creeps in. It reminds you why you started, what you're working toward, and who you want to become. This inner reminder acts as a steady flame that keeps your passion alive through challenges and setbacks. Intentions create structure in the chaos of life, giving you a framework to evaluate choices and set boundaries. You begin to say no to what distracts or diminishes you, and yes to what uplifts and empowers you. This selective attention is a form of self-respect that reinforces your commitment to personal growth. The clarity that intention provides reduces overwhelm and decision fatigue, allowing you to move forward with confidence and focus. You become less reactive to external pressures and more anchored in your inner truth. Intentions also shape your daily habits, which are the building blocks of transformation. When you focus solely on yourself, you consciously cultivate routines that support your well-being, creativity, and growth. These habits create momentum, making progress feel natural and inevitable. Small intentional actions compound over time, creating a powerful ripple effect that transforms your life. Your brain begins to associate these habits with reward and satisfaction, strengthening your motivation further. This cycle of intention, action, and reward builds a resilient foundation for lasting change. Focusing on yourself with clear intention invites a sense of freedom and empowerment, unlike any external validation can provide. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstances and start becoming the architect of your reality. Every choice, every step, becomes an expression of your authentic self, reinforcing your identity and purpose. This alignment between intention and action is where true transformation lives, where your dreams shift from distant hopes to achievable realities. By embracing the power of intention, you take control of your narrative, your energy, and your future. You open the door to a life designed by your own hand, a life that reflects the highest version of yourself. This is the profound gift of focusing solely on yourself, the ability to create change from the inside out, with purpose, clarity, and unwavering commitment. Every moment you dedicate to yourself becomes an investment in the life you are building. This investment is not about indulgence or selfishness. It is about honoring your worth and recognizing that your growth benefits everything and everyone around you. When you focus solely on yourself, you begin to understand that your well-being is the foundation for all success, happiness, and fulfillment. Without this foundation, everything else crumbles. This realization creates a powerful shift in priorities. You start to protect your energy fiercely, knowing that it fuels your creativity, your relationships, and your resilience. You learn to say no to distractions, negative influences, and obligations that drain you. This is not rejection but redirection, choosing what aligns with your vision and what propels you forward. Investing in yourself also means embracing discomfort because transformation requires it. Growth does not happen in comfort zones. It happens when you challenge yourself, face fears, and push past limitations. This discomfort is a signal, not a stop sign. It tells you that you are stretching, evolving, and moving closer to your true potential. When you focus solely on yourself, you give yourself permission to endure this process with patience and determination. You recognize that short-term discomfort leads to long-term gain, This mindset creates resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks and keep moving with renewed strength. Investment in yourself deepens your sense of self-worth. Every time you prioritize your needs and goals, you reinforce the belief that you matter. This belief becomes a powerful motivator that sustains you during difficult times. It replaces doubt and self-sabotage with confidence and purpose. Investing in yourself also expands your capacity for joy and gratitude. When you nurture your mind, body, and spirit, you experience life more fully and with greater appreciation. This increased positivity creates a feedback loop that fuels further growth and transformation. The act of focusing solely on yourself becomes a radical declaration. You are worthy of love, success, and happiness simply because you exist. This declaration changes everything. It rewires your brain to seek and create opportunities that reflect this truth. It rewires your behavior to align with your highest self. It rewires your energy to attract the life you desire. This investment is practical and ongoing. It includes setting healthy boundaries, developing empowering habits, seeking knowledge, and practicing self-care. Each of these actions compounds over time, building momentum and solidifying transformation. When you invest in yourself consistently, you no longer feel like a passenger in your own life. You become the driver, fully engaged and fully responsible for your direction. This engagement creates a deep sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. You begin to see that your life is a reflection of the care and attention you give to yourself. The more you invest, the richer and more vibrant your experience becomes. This truth is liberating and inspiring because it places the power for change squarely in your hands. No external circumstance, person, or event can take away the investment you make in yourself. It is your most valuable asset, your greatest source of strength, and the key to unlocking your fullest potential. Focusing solely on yourself is the foundation of all transformation, because it nurtures the soil in which your dreams can take root and flourish. Transformation demands relentless focus, not the kind scattered across endless distractions, but a sharp, unwavering focus on yourself. This focus is an act of courage. It requires cutting through the noise of external expectations, societal pressures, and the incessant pull of comparison. When you focus solely on yourself, you reclaim your mental space, your energy, and your time. This reclamation is a profound declaration. Your life matters, your growth matters, and your potential is worth the effort. The psychological power of focused attention cannot be overstated. Your brain is wired to prioritize what you give it your full attention to. When you center your thoughts, actions, and emotions on your own evolution, you train your mind to become more resilient, clear, and motivated. This mental clarity is the cornerstone of all meaningful change. It empowers you to identify what truly serves you and what drains you. It helps you develop the discipline to eliminate distractions and negative influences that pull you away from your goals. Focus sharpens your perception, allowing you to see opportunities and solutions that were once hidden behind confusion and overwhelm. Focusing solely on yourself also cultivates emotional strength. It requires you to look inward honestly and compassionately, acknowledging your fears, insecurities, and desires without avoidance or denial. This emotional honesty builds authenticity, a vital component of transformation. When you are authentic with yourself, you align your actions with your true values, rather than trying to fit into molds created by others. This alignment generates a powerful internal harmony that fuels sustained motivation. As your focus intensifies, so does your capacity to take meaningful action. You stop procrastinating or waiting for the right moment. You understand that transformation is a continuous process, fueled by consistent intentional steps forward. Even small actions, taken with deliberate focus, create momentum that compounds over time. This momentum creates a sense of accomplishment and progress, reinforcing your belief in your ability to change and grow. The deeper your focus, the more you develop self-trust. You become confident in your decisions and more willing to take risks that challenge your comfort zone. This confidence breaks down barriers of fear and doubt that have held you back. It encourages you to embrace vulnerability as a strength, knowing that true growth lies on the other side of discomfort. Focusing solely on yourself also means setting boundaries, clear, firm limits on what you allow into your life. These boundaries protect your energy and preserve the space needed for your growth. They help you avoid the trap of overcommitment and people-pleasing, which drain your motivation and cloud your clarity. Boundaries are an act of self-respect that strengthens your focus and resilience. This disciplined attention to yourself invites a deep sense of empowerment. You no longer feel like a passenger reacting to circumstances, but a driver actively shaping your destiny. Your focused energy acts like a magnet, attracting resources, people, and experiences that align with your vision. This alignment accelerates your transformation and deepens your fulfillment. When you commit to focusing solely on yourself, you harness the full power of your mind and heart. You step into a space where change is not only possible but inevitable. This focus is the lens through which your dreams come into sharp, clear view, and the engine that propels you toward their realization. It is the ultimate act of self-love, and the foundation for a life transformed from the inside out. Growth is not a straight line. It is a dynamic, often messy process filled with peaks and valleys, progress and setbacks. Accepting this truth is essential when you focus solely on yourself. Transformation does not demand perfection. It demands persistence. This means showing up for yourself every day, even when motivation wanes or obstacles arise. It means understanding that setbacks are not failures but necessary parts of the journey. Each stumble offers invaluable lessons and opportunities to recalibrate your path. This mindset shift transforms frustration into fuel. Instead of being defeated by challenges, you learn to embrace them as stepping stones toward your goals. This resilience is a muscle that strengthens with use. The more you persist, the more natural it becomes to face adversity with courage and determination. Focusing on yourself creates a safe space where you can experiment, make mistakes, and grow without fear of judgment. This internal sanctuary nurtures creativity and innovation, both vital for transformation. When you are free from external pressures and comparisons, you tap into your unique strengths and passions. You develop confidence in your ability to navigate life's uncertainties and create solutions that align with your values. Persistence also deepens your sense of self-discipline, which is crucial for turning intentions into reality. Discipline is not about rigid control or punishment. It is about consistent, intentional action that moves you closer to your vision. It is choosing what serves you today over temporary comfort or distraction. This practice builds momentum, creating a powerful forward motion that becomes harder to stop with each step. Emotional reward of persistence is immense. It replaces feelings of helplessness and frustration with empowerment and hope. You begin to trust yourself more deeply, knowing that no matter what happens, you have the strength to keep going. This trust is a foundation for lasting transformation because it nurtures a growth mindset, an unwavering belief in your capacity to learn, adapt, and improve. When you focus solely on yourself with persistence, you also cultivate patience. Change does not happen overnight, and impatience often sabotages progress by fostering self-doubt or giving up too soon. Patience allows you to honor your unique timeline and respect the natural pace of growth. It encourages you to celebrate small victories and recognize incremental progress as meaningful milestones. This attitude keeps motivation alive, even when the finish line feels distant. Focusing on yourself with persistence and patience creates a powerful synergy. Persistence fuels action, while patience provides endurance. Together, they form the backbone of transformation, ensuring that your efforts are sustained and aligned with your true purpose. This balance helps you avoid burnout and discouragement, allowing you to approach change with clarity and calm. Embracing persistence within patience means you are committed not just to the outcome, but to the process itself. You find meaning and growth in every step, knowing that transformation is as much about who you become as what you achieve. This commitment creates a deep, unshakable foundation for lasting change, one built on resilience, self-trust, and unwavering focus. It is this foundation that will carry you through the challenges ahead and into the life you are destined to create. True transformation requires an unshakable belief in your own worthiness. This belief is not something you are born with. It is cultivated through daily choices to honor yourself, to prioritize your needs, and to affirm your value regardless of external approval. When you focus solely on yourself, you nurture this belief by consistently treating yourself with respect, kindness, and compassion. It means speaking to yourself in a way that encourages growth rather than criticism, recognizing that self-judgment only creates barriers to change. This deep sense of worthiness is the foundation of confidence. Without it, every step toward transformation feels heavy, uncertain, and vulnerable. But when you truly believe you deserve the life you dream of, every action becomes infused with purpose and courage. This belief rewires your internal narrative. It replaces the limiting stories you've been told or told yourself. Stories of not being enough, not being capable, or not deserving success. Instead, you begin to see yourself as a powerful creator of your reality, capable of growth, healing, and achievement. This mental shift is essential because your thoughts shape your feelings and actions. When you believe in your worth, you are more willing to take risks, embrace discomfort, and persist through challenges. Focusing on yourself also means learning to manage your inner critic, the voice that doubts, compares, and undermines your progress. This voice can be relentless and destructive if left unchecked. But when you focus solely on yourself, you develop the tools to recognize this voice as a product of fear, not truth. You learn to respond with compassion and rationality, gently steering your mind back toward empowerment. This internal dialogue influences your emotional state, resilience, and motivation. Cultivating worthiness creates a positive feedback loop where confidence breeds action, and action reinforces confidence. It also enhances your relationships, because when you value yourself, you set healthier boundaries and attract connections that respect and support your growth. Worthiness fuels your ability to forgive yourself for past mistakes and embrace imperfection. Transformation is not about becoming flawless. It is about becoming whole, integrating every part of yourself with acceptance and love. This wholeness is freeing. It removes the pressure to prove yourself or earn love, allowing you to focus purely on becoming your best self. When you focus solely on yourself with a foundation of worthiness, you unlock a powerful source of intrinsic motivation. This motivation comes from within and is sustainable because it is not dependent on external validation or outcomes. It is rooted in the understanding that you matter and that your journey is meaningful. This intrinsic drive fuels perseverance, creativity, and joy. It transforms obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into lessons. Worthiness is not a destination. It is a practice you cultivate daily through self-awareness, self-care, and intentional thought. Each moment you choose to affirm your value, you build resilience against doubt and fear. You create a mental and emotional environment where transformation can thrive. This belief in your worth is the silent force behind every breakthrough, every moment of courage, and every step forward. When you embrace it fully, you transform not just your life, but the very way you experience yourself and the world around you. This is the power that comes from focusing solely on yourself, a deep, unwavering belief in your own worth that propels you toward lasting change and profound fulfillment. When you focus solely on yourself, you step into a space of radical responsibility. This responsibility is not a burden but a profound source of empowerment. It means recognizing that your life is shaped by your choices, thoughts, and actions, not by circumstances or other people. Accepting this truth frees you from the chains of victimhood and excuses. It places the power squarely in your hands, where it belongs. Radical responsibility demands honesty. It asks you to look at your life with clarity, without blame or avoidance. This clarity reveals what is working, what is not, and what must change. It is a courageous act to face these truths, because it means acknowledging your role in your current reality and committing to the work required to transform it. This commitment creates a deep sense of control and agency. When you take full responsibility for your growth, you stop waiting for permission, opportunities, or the right time. You become the architect of your destiny, building a life aligned with your values and dreams. This mindset ignites motivation like nothing else can. Knowing that your actions directly influence your future fuels a relentless drive to keep moving forward, even in the face of obstacles. Radical responsibility also strengthens resilience. Challenges no longer feel like unfair setbacks, but opportunities to learn and adapt. Each difficulty becomes a test of your commitment and creativity, pushing you to develop new skills and perspectives. This resilience builds confidence and self-efficacy, the belief in your ability to influence outcomes. Focusing solely on yourself with radical responsibility encourages you to examine your habits, beliefs, and environments. It inspires deliberate choices that support your growth rather than sabotage it. This examination often requires difficult decisions, such as letting go of toxic relationships, unproductive routines, or limiting mindsets. Though challenging, these decisions are acts of self-respect that preserve your energy and focus. They create space for positive influences and behaviors to take root and flourish. Taking radical responsibility also involves embracing your emotions fully. It means allowing yourself to feel fear, sadness, or anger without judgment, while choosing not to be controlled by them. This emotional mastery is essential for sustained transformation because it keeps you grounded and focused amid life's inevitable ups and downs. When you accept responsibility for your emotional responses, you gain clarity about what triggers you and how to respond differently. This awareness increases your emotional intelligence, improving your relationships and inner peace. This process of radical responsibility deepens your connection to yourself. You stop outsourcing your happiness or validation to others and find it within. This inner connection becomes a wellspring of strength and guidance, especially during uncertainty. It allows you to trust your intuition and make decisions that honor your authentic self. When you fully embrace this responsibility, you activate a powerful cycle of growth. Your choices lead to progress, which builds confidence, which fuels further action, This cycle propels you toward transformation with unstoppable momentum. Radical responsibility is not a one-time decision, but an ongoing practice that shapes your mindset and actions daily. It is the foundation upon which lasting change is built, because it empowers you to take control of your life's story and rewrite it on your terms. This shift from external dependence to internal mastery is the ultimate expression of focusing solely on yourself, a bold, liberating, and transformative act that changes everything. Transformation flourishes in the soil of discipline. Discipline is not a harsh taskmaster demanding sacrifice, but a loving guide steering you toward your highest self. When you focus solely on yourself, discipline becomes the steady rhythm that sustains your progress, day after day. It is the quiet force that turns dreams into habits and intentions into results. This kind of discipline is built on respect for your own goals and boundaries. It is the choice to do what serves your growth, even when it feels uncomfortable or inconvenient. It means resisting the seductive pull of distractions, the temptation of short-term pleasures that steal your time and energy. Discipline is born from clarity about what matters most to you, making it easier to say no to anything that pulls you away from your purpose. This clarity creates freedom, not restriction. When your actions align with your values and vision, discipline feels like a natural expression of self-care rather than a burden. It transforms your daily routine into a powerful vehicle for change. This transformation requires commitment to showing up consistently, even on days when motivation is low and your mind is cluttered with doubt or fear. Discipline bridges the gap between inspiration and action. It helps you move forward, even when the path is steep or the results seem distant. This forward motion is critical because momentum builds momentum. Each step you take strengthens your resolve and makes the next step easier. Over time, disciplined action rewires your brain, creating neural pathways that support focus, resilience, and positive habits. These pathways become the foundation for lasting transformation. Discipline also deepens your self-trust. Each time you follow through on your commitments to yourself, you prove that you are reliable and capable. This internal trust replaces hesitation with confidence and fuels a positive cycle of growth. When you trust yourself, you make decisions more easily and with greater conviction. You also learn to forgive yourself quickly when you stumble, understanding that mistakes are part of the process, not signs of failure. This compassionate mindset strengthens your discipline rather than weakening it. Focusing solely on yourself through disciplined effort also reshapes your environment. You start to intentionally design your surroundings to support your goals, removing distractions, creating systems, and cultivating habits that nourish your progress. This environment acts like a silent partner, holding you accountable and making disciplined choices more accessible. Discipline influences your mindset deeply. It helps you develop patience, humility, and perseverance. You learn to value the journey as much as the destination, finding joy in the small wins and growth that come with consistent effort. This mindset fosters resilience, enabling you to bounce back from setbacks and keep moving forward with determination. Ultimately, discipline is the bridge between your present self and the person you aspire to be. It transforms intention into reality and potential into achievement. When you focus solely on yourself with unwavering discipline, you claim your power to create lasting change. This power is yours to harness every day, through every choice, until your transformation becomes undeniable and your life a testament to your relentless commitment to growth. True transformation demands courage, not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward despite it. When you focus solely on yourself, you invite this courage to grow within you, becoming a guiding force through uncertainty and doubt. Fear is natural. It signals that you are stepping beyond your comfort zone, into territory where growth happens. Rather than resisting fear, embracing it as a sign of meaningful progress shifts your mindset from avoidance to acceptance. This acceptance empowers you to face challenges head-on, knowing that fear will not control your actions. Courage is a muscle that strengthens through use. Every time you choose to act in alignment with your purpose, even when fear whispers stay back, you build resilience and deepen your trust in yourself. This trust becomes a foundation for bravery, enabling you to take greater risks and pursue your highest potential. Focusing on yourself with courage means accepting vulnerability. It means acknowledging your imperfections, doubts, and insecurities without letting them define you. Vulnerability opens the door to authenticity, a powerful catalyst for transformation. When you are authentic with yourself, you stop hiding behind masks or seeking validation from others. This freedom releases immense emotional energy, allowing you to channel it toward growth and creation. Courage also requires patience. Change is often slow and invisible at first, which can trigger frustration or the temptation to quit. But courage keeps you grounded in your commitment, reminding you that meaningful transformation is a marathon, not a sprint. This endurance nurtures confidence as you witness progress over time, however small it may seem. When you focus solely on yourself with courage, you develop clarity about what truly matters. Fear can cloud judgment and cause distraction, but courage sharpens your focus. It encourages you to prioritize your values and goals above temporary discomfort or external noise. This clarity guides your decisions and actions, creating alignment that propels you forward with purpose. Courage also deepens your connection to your inner voice, your intuition. When fear is acknowledged but not allowed to dominate, intuition becomes a reliable compass. Listening to this inner guidance helps you navigate uncertainty with greater ease and wisdom. This connection fosters peace amid chaos, strengthening your ability to stay centered and decisive. Courage transforms resistance into opportunity. Instead of seeing obstacles as barriers, you begin to view them as invitations to innovate, adapt, and grow stronger. This mindset shift cultivates optimism and resilience, essential qualities for lasting transformation. When you commit to focusing solely on yourself with courage, you activate a profound transformation not only in your actions, but in your very being. You become a force of determination, authenticity, and unwavering strength. This courage radiates outward, influencing every aspect of your life and inspiring those around you. It is the silent power that carries you through the darkest moments and celebrates with you in triumph. Embracing courage is not optional, it is essential. It is the heartbeat of transformation, the spark that ignites your potential into reality. Without it, growth remains a distant dream. With it, your transformation becomes inevitable and unstoppable. When you focus solely on yourself, you unlock the power of intentional growth, a deliberate commitment to becoming the person you are meant to be. Intentional growth is not accidental. It requires conscious effort, clear goals, and an unshakable belief in your ability to evolve. It asks you to examine every aspect of your life with purpose, identifying what nourishes your potential and what holds you back. This process demands honesty and courage, because growth often involves facing uncomfortable truths and stepping beyond familiar patterns. But it is in this discomfort that transformation takes root. Intentional growth requires you to prioritize your energy and time with fierce clarity. You begin to recognize that these resources are limited and precious. Every moment spent on distractions, negativity, or self-doubt is a moment stolen from your potential. Choosing to focus solely on yourself means choosing to invest in the habits, mindsets, and environments that fuel your progress. This investment yields exponential returns, building momentum that carries you forward even when motivation wanes. Growth also means embracing learning as a lifelong journey. It invites you to stay curious, open, and humble. You understand that mastery is not a destination, but a continuous process of refinement. Each setback becomes a lesson, each challenge a stepping stone, and each success a confirmation of your capacity to rise. This mindset transforms obstacles from threats into opportunities, empowering you to adapt and innovate rather than retreat. When you commit to intentional growth, you cultivate a deep sense of self-awareness. You become attuned to your strengths and weaknesses, your triggers and desires, your progress and setbacks. This awareness is a powerful tool that helps you make smarter choices and align your actions with your goals. It also fosters self-compassion, reminding you that growth is not linear and that setbacks do not define your worth. Intentional growth sharpens your focus on what truly matters. It filters out noise and distractions, allowing you to channel your energy toward meaningful goals. This clarity creates a sense of purpose that fuels resilience and perseverance. When you know why you are growing and what you hope to achieve, the hard work feels worthwhile, and every step forward becomes meaningful. Focusing solely on yourself through intentional growth also rewires your brain. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change, responds to your efforts, strengthening new neural pathways that support positive habits and mindsets. This physical change enhances your capacity for focus, emotional regulation, and problem solving, accelerating your transformation. Intentional growth is not passive, it is active, requiring daily choices that honor your vision. It demands discipline, courage, and patience. Yet the rewards are profound, a life shaped by your design, fueled by your passions, and aligned with your deepest values. When you fully embrace intentional growth, you become unstoppable. You reclaim your power to create, evolve, and thrive. This journey of transformation begins with a simple but powerful decision to focus solely on yourself and commit to the growth you deserve. Your mind is the battlefield where transformation is won or lost. When you focus solely on yourself, You take control of this battlefield, choosing which thoughts to nurture and which to dismiss. Every belief you hold shapes your reality. Every thought patterns the way you see yourself in the world. Negative, limiting beliefs act like invisible chains, binding you to doubt, fear, and stagnation. But when you become conscious of these thoughts, you can break free from their grip. Replacing limiting beliefs with empowering truths is not mere wishful thinking. It's a deliberate practice grounded in self-awareness and repetition. Your brain is designed to adapt to the thoughts you feed it. When you consistently focus on your strengths, your potential, and your worth, you rewire your neural pathways to support confidence and growth. This is the essence of mental transformation, a powerful shift that changes how you experience life at its core. Taking control of your mind means becoming the gatekeeper of your inner dialogue. It means refusing to accept the default narratives that diminish your value or capabilities. Instead, you cultivate a mindset that reflects the highest vision you have for yourself. This mindset is built on affirmations of your resilience, creativity, and right to thrive. It fuels your actions with positivity and purpose. Controlling your thoughts also sharpens your focus. The mind is easily distracted by fear, comparison, and doubt. Yet, when you train yourself to focus solely on your growth and goals, these distractions lose their power. You create mental clarity, allowing your energy to flow toward meaningful progress. This clarity makes decisions easier, and your actions more effective. Your mental discipline becomes a shield against the chaos of the outside world. You learn to pause and choose your thoughts consciously rather than reacting automatically. This choice creates emotional stability, reduces anxiety, and enhances your capacity for resilience. The more you practice mental control, the more you embody the strength of someone who is grounded, purposeful, and unshakable. This inner power radiates outward, influencing your relationships, work, and overall well-being. A transformed mind also cultivates gratitude and optimism. These emotions are not superficial positivity but strategic tools for growth. Gratitude shifts your focus to what is working, what you have achieved, and the abundance around you. Optimism fuels perseverance and creativity, helping you see possibilities where others see obstacles. Together, they create a mindset that propels you through setbacks and toward your highest potential. When you focus solely on yourself, mastering your mind is not optional. It is essential. It is the foundation upon which all other transformations rest. Without control of your thoughts, fear and doubt will sabotage your progress before it begins. With it, your transformation becomes unstoppable. Your mind becomes a garden of possibility, cultivated by your attention and intention. This mental mastery is your greatest ally on the path to lasting change, and it is yours to claim now, with every conscious thought you choose to nurture. Your emotions are not random reactions but signals guiding you toward deeper understanding and growth. When you focus solely on yourself, you learn to listen to these signals with compassion and clarity. Emotional awareness becomes a vital tool in your transformation, allowing you to recognize what holds you back and what propels you forward. Often, we push away difficult emotions, fear, anger, sadness, because they feel uncomfortable or weak. But true strength lies in facing these emotions honestly, accepting them without judgment, and learning from their messages. Each emotion carries information about your needs, boundaries, and desires. When you honor your emotional experience, you create space for healing and renewal. Emotional mastery does not mean suppressing or controlling feelings rigidly. It means developing the ability to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. This subtle shift transforms chaos into calm and confusion into clarity. You become the observer of your emotions, not their victim. This observation allows you to break destructive patterns and choose actions aligned with your highest self. Focusing on yourself means prioritizing emotional self-care, which strengthens your resilience and deepens your self-love. Emotional self-care includes practices that nurture your inner world: reflection, mindfulness, setting healthy boundaries, and seeking connection with your authentic self. These practices replenish your emotional energy and empower you to face challenges with grace and courage. When you cultivate emotional intelligence, your relationships transform. You communicate more clearly, empathize more deeply, and create bonds based on mutual respect and understanding. This transformation starts within and radiates outward, enriching every interaction. Emotional mastery also enhances your ability to adapt. Change often triggers emotional upheaval, but when you are emotionally grounded, you navigate transitions with greater ease. You see change not as a threat, but as an opportunity for growth and renewal. This perspective fuels courage and curiosity, essential drivers of transformation. Focusing solely on yourself with emotional awareness cultivates gratitude for your journey. You begin to appreciate the full spectrum of your experience, the triumphs and trials alike, as essential chapters in your story of growth. This gratitude softens self-criticism and invites patience, reminding you that transformation is a process unfolding over time. Emotional mastery ignites your inner strength. It is the silent force that carries you through moments of doubt, pain, and uncertainty. It anchors you in your purpose and fuels your commitment to becoming your best self. Without emotional awareness, transformation remains shallow and vulnerable to disruption. With it, your growth becomes profound, resilient, and lasting. Your emotions become allies, guiding you with wisdom and power. This emotional intelligence is not a luxury but a necessity for anyone who chooses to focus solely on themselves and transform their life. It is the foundation of self-mastery and the gateway to true freedom.